Society is shaped not only by events that make history, but also by experiences that test the human spirit. In communities recovering from violence, in homes shaken by loss, and in moments where trust is unexpectedly broken, the true measure of survival is often revealed. Tonight on Newsline, we journey to Yelwata community in Benue State, where 1 year after a violent attack, survivors continue the task of rebuilding their lives and livelihoods. We also examine the disturbing circumstances surrounding the killing of a veteran broadcaster, a tragedy made even more unsettling by allegations that someone once trusted may have played a role. Together, these stories speak to the realities of loss, recovery, trust, and betrayal that continue to resonate across our society. Welcome to Newsline. I'm Elizabeth Omori, and thank you for sharing your evening with us. First, the news of the day. Now the news. The Senate has defended its passage of the Constitution Alteration State Police Bill 2026, describing it as a product of national consensus and urgent necessity, not political expediency. In a statement, Senate leader Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele said the bill cannot be delayed because of anyone's political aspirations, noting that the proposal followed extensive consultation from memoranda to the Senate Constitution Review Committee, public hearings across all 6 geopolitical zones, and inputs from the Executive, Governors Forum, Speakers Conference, and the Nigeria Police. Bamidele said the bill received broad bipartisan support in the Senate as 84 out of 109 members voted in favor, representing 77% approval, pointing also the opposition parties backed it in the national interest. Meanwhile, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has assured Nigerians that the benefits of the proposed state police far outweigh the risks. On the passage of the bill, Kalu dismissed concerns over possible abuse of state police by governors, affirming that the proposed constitutional amendment contains safeguards that define the powers and responsibilities of state police while enforcing national minimum operational standards.
How many governors have used state high courts to jail opposition? How many? What is the statistics out there? So the fear, yes, the fear is there. It's legitimate fear. But what is more legitimate is that Nigerians should embrace the benefit of state police. And because of that fear that Nigerians have, while drafting this document, we make sure we put in guardrails on what the House of Assembly can do with regards to the powers, the duties, the roles of the state police.
He also revealed that the Police Act will be repealed and reenacted to provide legal framework for implementation. To animal disease surveillance, Nigeria's livestock sector is taking a major leap in animal health care with the adoption of advanced imaging technology for disease surveillance, early detection and treatment. The breakthrough comes with the inauguration of a state-of-the-art model veterinary hospital in Edo State under the Livestock Productivity and Resilient Support Project. Yusuf Jika brings us details.
A new chapter is unfolding in Nigeria's veterinary medicine as technology replaces guesswork with precision. Advanced imaging machines are transforming animal health care, enabling evidence-based diagnosis and treatment that reduces livestock losses, improve animal welfare, and strengthen the nation's protein supply. The transformation begins at the National Coordinating Office of the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project, Model Veterinary Hospital in Auchi, Edo State. The initiative is designed to modernize the sector, enhance food security, boost exports, and safeguard public health.
As a prototype facility being replicated across the country, this hospital will serve as a center of excellence
In animal healthcare, every minute counts. Stakeholders say the new facilities will accelerate disease detection, strengthen research.
May I humbly recommend that with the new infrastructure, training and retraining of personnel saddled with the responsibility for operationalizing this hospital will bring them at par with their colleagues elsewhere, both within and outside the shores of this country.
That there is a strong collaboration between the Abuja State government and the federal government.
You did it out of your conviction that every part of Nigeria deserves the presence of the federal government.
This facility will support early diagnosis of reproductive disorders, respiratory conditions, fractures, and internal parasites. It also allows for better monitoring of pregnancy and livestock fertility. In Benin, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Away from disease surveillance, President Bola Tinubu is set to reposition technical education through robust funding and provision of modern technological advancements in a bid to encourage students to be self-employed and entrepreneurial after graduation, rather than waiting for white-collar jobs. The president, who was represented by the Minister of State for Education, discussed this in Nasarawa at the 11th Combined Convocation of the Federal Polytechnic, Nasarawa.
11th Combined Convocation of the famous Federal Polytechnic Nasarawa in the North Central region has come and gone, but the memories will linger for a long time to come in the hearts of the graduates. Over 48,000 graduates drawn from 2021 and 2022 to 2025 academic sessions from both national and higher national diplomas successfully graduated from their different fields of endeavors.
We celebrate not merely the conferment of certificates and prizes, but the emergence of a new cohort of Nigerian youths equipped with technical, vocational, entrepreneurial skills to build the Nigeria of our renewed home agenda.
The Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule, also represented by his deputy, Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, promised to support the Polytechnic in terms of facilities.
The administration in the states has continued to attract priority attention, particularly in the development of science and technical education.
Some prominent Nigerians bagged awards of Fellow of the Federal Polytechnic Nasarawa, including the Deputy Governor of the state, Professor Suweba Ahmed, Minister for State Education, Emir of Lafia Justice Sidi Bagi Mohammed, and Professor Idris Bugaji.
We are in the process of amending the Polytechnic Act to allow degrees to be awarded in polytechnics.
Today marks another important milestone in the history of this great institution as we endeavor to celebrate excellence.
The current management of the Polytechnic assumed office with a clear vision to build an institution founded on peace, excellence, innovation, inclusiveness, and sustainable growth.
Best graduating students got awards in recognition of their excellent academic performance. Earlier, a dinner and awards night was held where some staff were recognized for their outstanding performance. Ayenaji Auta, NTA News.
To other stories, with more than 60 ethnic nationalities and diverse cultures, the people of southern Kaduna have from time exemplified sense of belonging despite challenges. But the good thing is that key players have continued to embrace dialogue in order to strengthen peace and social cohesion. Suraj Abdullahi reports on one of the initiatives by the Southern Kaduna Lawyers Forum.
The Southern Kaduna Lawyers Forum has beacon, and the gathering of the people is impressive, united by a shared purpose. In addition to discussing issues of law, the roundtable meeting theme from division to cohesion, the role of lawyers, leaders, and citizens in Southern Kaduna, also sought to drive the process of social engineering and advocacy aimed at changing old narratives that have hindered development. One after another, panelists shared their perspectives on how to harness the enormous potential of Southern Kaduna for sustainable growth and development.
Social justice, etc., thrives in society where there is peace.
Young people from Southern Kaduna are very intelligent, but what do we do with our intelligence?
Political leaders, including the Deputy Governor of Kaduna State and the Minister of Defense, took turns to highlight the government's efforts at promoting a sense of belonging and fostering social inclusion among the people of Southern Kaduna.
Leaders must lead with dignity and fairness. Citizens must reject divisive narratives and embrace mutual respect.
We must encourage dialogue rather than confrontation and cooperation rather than conflict. Equally important is the role of ordinary citizens. They must feel our presence.
I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to Mr. President. He's given tremendous support to our Governor, Senator Obasani. We can see the dividends of democracy that we're enjoying.
At the end of the meeting, participants expressed optimism that it will usher in a new dawn for the people of Southern Kaduna. Suraj Abdullahi, NTA News.
To healthcare, the national coordinator of the Presidential Initiative for Unlocking the Healthcare Value Chain, PVAC, Dr. Abdul Mukhtar, says the expansion of the Apex African Gas Nigeria Limited Oxygen Production Facility in Lagos marks a significant step in strengthening Nigeria's healthcare value chain and improving access to medical oxygen across the country. During the inauguration of the upgraded facility, Dr. Mukhtar noted that PVAC is committed to supporting investments that enhance local production of essential healthcare commodities.
Oxygen is one of the value pools that we are trying to unlock in PVAC. During COVID in Nigeria, most of the deaths and the problems that we had was because of lack of oxygen. So Apex Gases has actually found a solution. Our commitment to them is we'll continue to work with them to make sure that they expand that percentage that they're giving to the medical sector.
Our goal is to ensure that every patient, wherever he stays in Nigeria, in all the states, he can have access to a fair cost medical oxygen.
Showed the company of government support in addressing policy bottlenecks, adding that the initiative aligns with the vision of the President and the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare to boost local production of essential medicines and healthcare commodities in the country. Let's now talk security. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, condemns the recent killing of the Benue State Chairman of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Alhaji Ardo Risku, and his son after a peace meeting. The SGF, in a statement, describes the incident as a setback to ongoing peace and reconciliation efforts in Benue State. He notes that the killings occurred at a time when communities in the state are beginning to witness improved security and peaceful coexistence through dialogue and cooperation. While condoling with the family, he calls on the Nigeria Police Force, DSS and other security agencies to conduct a thorough investigation and ensure those responsible are arrested and prosecuted. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Army personnel have been urged to remain resilient, selfless and God-fearing in their commitment to safeguarding the nation. The message of the Chief of Army Staff at an interdenominational church service to commemorate the 2026 Army Day celebration held at St. Matthew's Catholic Chaplaincy 6th Division Headquarters, Port Harcourt. Osinachi Sama reports that the message was delivered by the General Officer Commanding 6th Division and Land Component Commander Joint Task Force South Operation Delta Safe, Major General Emmanuel Emeka.
Gathering of Army personnel joined by all the stakeholders and friends for the interdenominational church service, which is part of activities lined up to commemorate the 2026 Army Day celebration. In his sermon, Lieutenant Colonel Enoch Akiyemi urged the officers to remain steadfast. The Chief of Army Staff commended the troops for their professionalism and commitment to safeguarding the nation. He reaffirmed the Army's resolve to defeating terrorism and banditry.
163 years anniversary is not an easy task, and like the Chief of Army Staff said, we are not just celebrating the living, we are celebrating even our colleagues that paid the supreme sacrifice. We pray for their family.
The service features special songs, rendition, thanksgiving and prayers for Nigeria, its leaders and the Nigerian Army. From the 6th Division Headquarters, Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
And the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, DD Esther Wilson-Jack, urges civil servants to remain committed to the core values of integrity, accountability and excellence as efforts continue to build a civil service that is efficient, transparent and responsive to the needs of all Nigerians. She stated this at a Thanksgiving service to mark the 2026 Civil Service Week. Hammond, Germany, was there.
Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, DD Esther Wilson-Jack, led permanent secretaries, senior government officials and civil servants to a special Thanksgiving service as part of activities marking the 2026 Civil Service Week in a moment of reflection, gratitude and renewed commitment to national service.
We are thanking God for the milestones we have achieved, for the challenges we have overcome, and we are looking up to Him to continue to help the civil service to deliver its mandate.
It is not right that somebody has served the nation and cannot pay their children's school fees. So I'm using this opportunity to plead with Mr. President and all those that are in places of authority to make life easier for our civil servants so that they can give their best. Our civil servants are trying, but they need more encouragement from the government.
The Thanksgiving service ended with prayers for the nation and a renewed commitment by civil servants to uphold the values of excellence and selfless service. Hammond Jabani, NTA News.
Thank you, Hammond. President Bola Tinubu sends warm felicitations to Babatunde Raji Fashola, former governor of Lagos State and former Minister of Works, Power and Housing, as he celebrates his birthday. The president highlights Fashola's remarkable contributions to public service, governance and national development. He describes the former governor as an outstanding administrator, accomplished legal practitioner and patriotic Nigerian whose exemplary leadership has left an enduring legacy across the country, particularly in Lagos State. And the president extends his heartfelt condolences to the National Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, Senator Surajuddin Ajibola Bashiru, on the passing of his mother, Alhaja Sidikat Bashiru. President Tinubu commends the late matriarch's sense of discipline and responsibility, instilling in her children the values of integrity, faith, selfless service and discipline. He urges all her survivors to find solace in the exemplary life she lived, an enduring legacy that she left behind. Nigeria contingents prepare for Commonwealth Games as 9 African countries at the World Cup make it to the round of 32. Details of these and more with our sportsman, Bade Adeleye. Bade, 9 out of 10 teams. That's impressive.
Very impressive, unprecedented, and we're looking forward to them delivering when it comes to the round of 32. All right. Let's begin straight away as attention is turning to the round of 32 at the World Cup, with the group stage matches now concluded with 72 exciting matches. For the first time in the FIFA World Cup history, 9 African teams have qualified for the knockout stage, apart from Tunisia that crashed out in the group stage, underlining the continent's growing strength on the global stage. The round of 32 fixtures will see Morocco face the Netherlands, Senegal take on Belgium, Ghana meet Colombia, Cape Verde square off against Argentina, while Egypt will confront Australia. South Africa currently up against co-host Canada. And the last time we checked, it was goalless. Let's turn our attention to the tracks now, as Nigerian sprint hurdler and world champion Tobi Amusan has won the women's hurdles at the Paris Diamond League by clocking an impressive 2.39 seconds in the heat, before going ahead to match her season's best of 12.28 seconds to seal overall victory. American Grace Stark followed closely in second place, while Alicia Johnson took third. Back home, the 3-day renewed hope horse racing competition has ended in Kano, with winners carting away 6 brand new cars and cash prizes worth more than 50 million naira. Our Salisu reports that the event recorded a historic milestone with the participation of female jockeys in the International Horse Racing Derby for the first time, as attention now shifts to the grand finale in Kaduna.
We're having a grand finale in Kaduna that we're expecting that His Excellency the President is also going to grace. Calling it grand finale is an African derby, not a northern derby. It's going to be an African derby.
To the tennis court now, as Abubakar Yusuf produced a remarkable comeback to defeat Nigeria's #1 ranked player, Kani Zabua, 6-4, 6-1, and win the men's singles title at the 6th edition of the 2026 Davenoch National Open Tennis Championship at the newly renamed Ifedayo Akindoju Tennis Court inside the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. The women's singles final also produced an upset as Success Ogunjobi rallied from its set down to defeat Nigeria's top-ranked female player, Itoro Basi, 3-6, 7-5, 6-1 to emerge champion of this year's tournament.
He has been beating me since when we were juniors, and even though I know I'm always trying my best, playing my best, so today I had to play to the end of the fight.
I was feeling so down from past week. I just had to keep motivating myself to come back this week and correct everything I did wrong last week. And I was able to play on my best.
These players have all aspirations to be world-class players.
Moving to volleyball now, as the first phase of the CGC Nigeria Volleyball Premier League has ended in Abuja, with Nigeria Customs Service dominating the men's category after a perfect 12-win campaign to finish top with 36 points. In the women's division, Kwa Spikers handed Nigeria Customs their first defeat of the season in a thrilling 5-set contest, but Customs still finished first with 34 points. Attention now turns to the African Beach Volleyball Zone 3 qualifiers in Badagry from July the 3rd to the 7th.
To say congratulations to the CGC and its management, their investment in our teams.
Our league is comparable to leagues that you can find in Europe, you can find in Asia, and you can find even in our neighbors.
8 countries have been in Badagry. We have never come back without either 1, 2, 3.
We're done from the volleyball court and straight away to Elizabeth.
Thank you, Buddy, for the updates.
You're welcome.
And next is a look at the weather prospect for tomorrow, Monday.
Have you noticed how different the weather has been across the country lately? While some communities have experienced days of steady rainfall, others have seen only brief showers with plenty of dry intervals. So what can we expect as we head into Monday? We'll begin with the northern part of the country, where the day is expected to start with morning thunderstorms. These storms are likely to move across parts of the northeast, extending to parts of Jigawa, Kebbi, and Zamfara State. For the south, morning thunderstorms are also expected to parts of Plateau, the Federal Capital Territory, parts of Nasarawa, and Niger State. So residents in this area should prepare for a wet start to the day. Now let's move over to the southern region. Here we're expecting mostly light morning rainfall across parts of Ogun, Ondo, Lagos, and mostly the coastal parts of the country. While the rain may not be particularly heavy, it could still affect the morning activities. And as we head into the afternoon, rain chances become more widespread. Showers and thunderstorms are expected to develop across many parts of the country, bringing cooler conditions to several cities. Even so, not everywhere will see rainfall, and as few locations are expected to remain dry through the evening. And that's the forecast. Stay informed about the changing weather conditions in your area. I am Akami Samarda.
Now you know the outlook. And that concludes the news segment. More to come on Newsline proper. Just stay with us.
Abuja is rising.